All right, so we have to start a new project today that is again related to NLP only. And right now, I'm showing you a data set on which we want to work. This data set is Bengali and English news data set. So when we comes to news data set, it's about fake and true news classification. Okay, so we are having a data set in which fake and real news are present. Two languages are mentioned here. One is Bengali and one is English. So far, we have worked on English. Okay, a lot of projects, a lot of code we are available with. We have done Bengali language. Okay, that's something which we have to explore. It's an Indian language, and in India we do speak a lot of language. So it's one of them, and that's what something a challenge because we are available with so many libraries related to English. What about the libraries related to Bengali? Do we have NLTK like library which can perform tokenization, which can perform lemmatization, which can perform stop word, and that means which can perform the cleaning of the entire Bengali text? Is there something available to us? That's what we have to see. Okay, because English is fine. We are having both the data sets. Okay, so English we can do. That's not a matter. But Bengali working on this data set is something challenging. So if I do talk about this data, so this data set provides news articles both in Bengali and English, aim to support the fake news detection, sentiment analysis, linguistic studies. Okay, all these things it provides. Fine. So the point is we can use this data set for following purposes. Okay, English language news data. So we will be specific towards news classification. Okay, fine. That we will consider fake or true. Okay. English news data, the source is the New York Times, the Guardian. Okay, and the New York Times data is collected from April 16, 2021 to 14 June 2001. Okay, that means reverse you can understand. 2001 to, okay, I guess if they are not making any mistake, April, May, and June. So I think it will be like April 16, 2021 to June 14, 2021. I think it should be like that. Let's see. Okay. And then the Guardian data is from January 1, 18 to November 1, 18. This is for English. And the attributes which are present in the English data are author's name, title of the news, main body, that means the content of the news. Okay. Date of the news, URL, link, country name, source, and the word count. They are mentioned in English dataset. In Bengali dataset, we are also having the same thing as they mentioned. All the features are same, and it's collected from news content in Bengali language. Maybe like articles published in this particular language. Okay, so they have collected the content from it. All right, fine. Now, the data collection, they told using public APIs offered by New York Times, The Guardian. Accordingly, they have collected the data using application programming interface, okay, with some API keys and all to get the permission. Then the raw data, which was initially unstructured, including HTML text, so they themselves done the formatting of the data. Okay, whatever possible they did formatting. Okay, and after cleaning from their end, they have merged the data into single CSV file. That's what they did from their side. So you are getting the data in a CSV file. Okay, fine. Then the attributes we already understood. It's very simple. They are mentioned here. All right. Now, usage, it's been told that either you can use for fake news, text classification. These are like all comes under the category of classification only, text classification. So either you can have a fake news detection, it comes under classification only. Sentiment analysis, what you have to do is in the just previous project took sentiment analyzer, so we can apply sentiment analyzer here, and then we can calculate the sentiment of the news, and we can perform sentiment analysis also. Okay, that's fine. Okay, well, that's all about the data set what we are available with. This is something like Bengali language. Okay, I too also don't understand this, but we are available with this data. Okay, fine. So we are going to perform the analysis of this data set. There are certain challenges. I already told you that what library we are going to use. Is this library is outdated library? Do we have any new version of Bengali library which can interpret this text? There are certain questions in my mind also. How to perform the entire data cleaning, data processing, pre-processing, and then perform the classification of Bengali data. That's an issue. So what I did is, let me share my entire screen. At least I started coding. Okay, at least I started, and I thought, let's see what happens. Start to karo. So this is my Kaggle code for the project. Okay, and instead of English, we are available with both the data, English and Bengali. So I started with Bengali first. Okay, so here my data set is loaded, and here I took warnings, filter warnings, to ignore the warnings. Fine. And then I imported my basic libraries. So while initial running code in the Kaggle, you already got NumPy and the pandas along with the OS. The reason is it need to fetch the data. Okay, and that's the reason we got from the directory. Okay, so that's the reason we are getting all this OS and NumPy pandas. Okay, by default it is there. Rest I took visualization libraries from my side. Okay, and here is the link for Bengali news dataset. Okay, I printed head. Okay, I got some good format to see. You know what happened was, I took this data on my Jupyter notebook also, but there was an issue. I was able to see only scribbled language because the encoding of this language has not been available. So that was an issue with me. I was unable to see this Bengali language, all scribbled. Here in Kaggle I can see the language that's written something. I can see there it was not visible to me. So I proceeded. Here only I printed head, I printed tail for it. Okay. Then I printed the shape 14,537. This much rows I am available with the four columns. Initially, it told me that I do have the columns, many columns I have, author name, etc., etc. It told to us that we are having certain columns. Okay, how much it told? It told that we are having author name, title 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Initially, it told that we are having 8 columns. But when I accessed my data, I am only able to see 4 columns. That means 4 columns are drawn from its side only. Okay, anyways, these are the column names: category, headline, content, and the label. Okay. I checked the duplicates, I haven't found anything. I checked the null values, I haven't found anything. Information I printed. So category, headline, and the content are object type. Label is floating 1.0, 0.0. So in order to perform classification later on, I think I have to convert it into integer. That's what I will do. S type int. Okay, I will do it. I will convert into integer 1 and 0, not floating point. Okay. Then this is the description. Okay, not mandatory as such here. Okay, so this is the category I am having. The news belongs to like national, sports, finance, entertainment, and everything. Okay, so we are available with different categories to which the news belongs. Okay, fine. And then I perform the value count also for them. Most of the news we are having from national. Okay, and technology we are having minimum news 251. Okay, then I made count plot for this category. Okay, count plot for category. Then I made pie plot for category 36% national and the minimum 1.7% is technology. So this is an easy stuff we can draw over our data. Label also we can perform. We do have a 0 and 1 as a label. Okay, that is present in float. And it's an unbalanced data. For 1, I am having 10,000. For 0, I am having 4,000 something. So this is unbalanced data. Okay. Anyhow, later on maybe we will be doing this balancing. The balancing is not an issue for us, but the point is how to pre-process the Bengali data. That's an issue. Okay. Then I made the count plot for this 0 and 1. I made the pie plot for this 0 and 1 also. Okay, so these are the results. Now I converted label into integer because it was in float now, so I converted it into the integer. Okay, 1.0 to 1 and 0.0 to 0. Then what I did is I added headline and the content because both are text now. So it's better kindly take both of them. Headline and the content should be taken together. Okay, so I added both of them, headline plus content. And then I took this text and the label and created df. Okay, because rest I don't need. I just only need a text and the label, that's it. So I created data frame this df, text and the label. You can see right now I am clearly able to see this Bengali language. I can see. So Kaggle is good in understanding the font. Okay, the encoding. All right. So this is my data frame, text and the label. Okay, I downloaded this data, and when I opened this data, now it was like all scrambled. Okay, we can't see anything. Then I imported NLTK, Natural Language Toolkit. Okay, that's by default I took. Right now, I we have to look out that which library we will be used for Bengali interpretation. I don't know. I took NLTK. Then, before doing any pre-processing, I thought that let's try something from our side that at least some basic. So I converted like character counting I performed for the text, how many characters are there. Word counting I performed. Okay, so then sentence counting I performed. Fine. All this counting I performed from my side only. Okay, you can take this code into the previous one, the sentiment analysis which we did. There also you can apply. See, in text classification and NLP project, the only deal is to clear the data, clean the data, and to perform the algorithm. Rest, whatever you are doing now, is an co-curricular activity. That's what I called as co-curricular activity. Why co-curricular activity? Because they are not as such mandatory. You can keep a record of these things, that okay, how many characters are there, how many words are there, how many sentences are there. They will give some idea, but not as such mandatory. Anyhow, I did it. Okay, so I performed the counting of these and I made the histogram. This is character count histogram, this is word count histogram, and this is word count versus character count scatter plot. Okay, that's what I did. I can make sentence count histogram also. Okay, only two counting I shown, and third I made a scatter plot. So word count and character count are increasing. They are directly in relation to each other. Okay, directly proportional to each other. That's what you can include some plots from your side to enhance your project. Co-curricular, additional. Then I tried to find the correlation between character count, word count, sentence count, and the label correlation matrix. Okay. So sentence count is in 40% correlation with character count. Word count is 43% in correlation with sentence count, and that's it. Label, they don't have any relationship. Okay, so there is no sense of keeping such kind of columns in our data to perform the analysis of label, to identify the label. Nothing. You can see now. Label minus 0.06. Label with sentence count is minus 0.06, with character count is 0.02, with word count is 0.01. तो कोई मतलब थोड़ी ना इसका, कोई they don't have any relationship with the label. Unnecessary होता काउंटिंग काउंटिंग कर कुरा के ये कुछ प्लॉट फ्लॉट बना लिए. ठीक है, just to show we made a plot. Anyways, then I proceeded ahead. Then I thought that let's separate 0 and 1. Okay, label 0 and label 1. Let's separate it. So, what is the length of fake data and what is the length of real data? Just as a separator, I used. Okay, overall analysis I already did. Okay, now here I am taking 0 and 1 separate. Okay, so the first what I did is I created a data frame where I concatenated these two length. Okay, and the label was fake into length of the this plus real into length of real length. Okay, that's the label I defined. And then I made a box plot. Okay, so this is what I'm getting. Okay, it's just extra logic which has been applied. The initial idea was okay, I calculated the fake length, I calculated the real length. Let's make a histogram of fake length and the real. That was the initial idea. सेपरेट ना आई कैन मेक द हिस्टोग्राम फॉर बोथ ऑफ दम. बना सकते थे, बनाया होगा आगे मैंने. यही था आइडिया. फिर अब क्या, दोनों को मिलाकर इन कंबाइंड वो बॉक्स प्लॉट बना दिया और आउटलायर शो कर दिया यहाँ पे, जस्ट टू शो द आउट. आई एडेड दीज टू, रियल एंड द फेक, एंड शोन द आउटलायर्स. ठीक है यार, कोई इशू नहीं है इससे. क्या कर भी सी, ये सब सिर्फ दिखावा है. whatever we are doing na, just we are enhancing our code to show that this much coding or the stuff can be done over the data, but at the end इसका कोई काम वाम नहीं है. ठीक है, इतना यूटिलाइजेशन में इट विल नॉट वर्क. ये देखो, हिस्टोग्राम बना दिया, हिस्टोप्लॉट बना दिया, ये रहा, एक ही में बना दिया. इन वन ओनली आई मेड द हिस्टोग्राम, हिस्टोप्लॉट फेक एंड हिस्टोप्लॉट रियल. Okay, I made it in one go itself. All right, so this is a good to compare between the two continuous distributions. one with red color, one with blue color. I did. And then I printed the mean standard deviation and median values also. ये भी कर दिया print. ये देखो कि फेक न्यूज़ का जो है उसका मीन लेंथ है, मीन वैल्यू इज 1787 पॉइंट समथिंग, मीडियन इज 1400 एंड स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन इज 1300, और ये रियल का इतना है। ठीक है, आई नीड टू क्लासीफाई, क्लासिफिकेशन में ये सब कुछ भी काम नहीं आने वाला, नथिंग। ओके, बट आप बोले कर क्यों रहे हो, एक इंफॉर्मेशन के लिए, एज आई टोल्ड ना, एडिशनल एक्स्ट्रा, दैट इज वाई आई एम डूइंग। एंड ऐसा ये होता है कि यू डू अवेलेबल विद ओनली टेक्स्ट एंड लेबल, तो क्या करते हैं हम फिर, और फॉर मोर प्लॉट्स ना, क्योंकि आपके पास एट द एंड बनाने को बचेगा वर्ड क्लाउड, वर्ड क्लाउड विल बी देयर ओनली टू प्लॉट। तो हम क्या करते हैं, वो जो टेक्स्ट एंड लेबल रहता है, हम उसमें से ये जो टेक्स्ट रहता है इसकी लेंथ निकाल लेते हैं, वी कैलकुलेट द लेंथ। तो वी डू हैव वन मोर कॉलम ऑफ लेंथ ऑफ अ टेक्स्ट, सो एवरी, फॉर एवरी रो वी डू हैव सम लेंथ ऑफ अ टेक्स्ट। जैसे मान के चलिए 10 वर्ड्स हो गए, इन रो नंबर 1 15 वर्ड्स हो गए, तो हम इसका हिस्टोग्राम बना लेते हैं। दैट्स व्हाट वी कैन डू। सेपरेट भी सेपरेट बना लो, 0 है लेबल 1 है लेबल, सेपरेट हिस्टोग्राम वी कैन मेक, दैट इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल, कर सकते हैं, अभी करी तो था, ताकि डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन समझ में आ जाए कि हाँ, इफ समवन इज राइटिंग फेक, if there is someone writing fake, so in that particular case what is the distribution of data, how many words it used, तो फेक वाला कितना यूज कर रहा है और रियल वाला कितना यूज कर रहा है, रियल वर्ड्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। तो इससे एक आप एक आइडिया के लिए लगा लोगे बाय दिस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, दैट्स व्हाई आई डिड इंक्लूडेड इन माय कोड कि काम करो, वर्ड काउंट कर लो, सेंटेंस काउंट कर लो, दैट्स व्हाट यू कैन डू, दिस काउंटिंग डू एंड मेक द हिस्टोग्राम एंड ऑल द प्लॉट्स बना लो, बेसिक वाले बॉक्स प्लॉट एंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स डू। देन आफ्टर दैट ना क्या हुआ, अभी भी मेरा कंसर्न रुका हुआ है। कंसर्न ये है कि आई नीड टू परफॉर्म द डेटा क्लीनिंग एंड आई नीड टू एक्सप्लोर द लाइब्रेरी विच विल बी यूज फॉर द डेटा क्लीनिंग, बंगाली का। ओके, विच लाइब्रेरी इज गोइंग टू, अभी मेरे को पता नहीं है कुछ, तो I created, I don't know, so I created a copy of my data frame df new, and this is the same code which I used in the previous also for cleaning, तो ये तो भी cleaning willing तो हो जाएगा, that means it can drop, it will यहाँ कह रहा है convert it into lower case, I don't know whether it converted into lower case or not, not sure, because that's for English, converting lower case in Bangla language, that I think that's not gonna work. The only thing which will work is a strip, white spaces at the opening and at the ending, it will work. Text dot lower, I guess, कैसे कहते हैं, ये तो मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा क्या लिखा है ये। If any one of you knows the Bangla, they may understand that what's written here and whether it's been converted into lower case or not. ओके, एक नई प्रॉब्लम ही उठाई अपन, अभी तक इंग्लिश पढ़ते थे, अब एनी डिफरेंट लैंग्वेज में पिकड अप। ठीक है, ये करा, कोई एरर वेरर वॉज नॉट देयर, आई थिंक चलो प्रोसीड करते हैं। देन रेगुलर एक्सप्रेशन इंक्लूड करा एंड दीज आर द पंक्चुएशन मार्क्स। अब ये पंक्चुएशन मार्क्स जो हैं, ये अपनी तरफ से आई प्रिपेयर्ड अ लिस्ट, आई थिंक ये तो कॉमन होंगे, कॉमा, अच्छा ये भी पंक्चुएशन मार्क्स ये भी लगा दिया से, आई कैन हैव एक्सक्लेमेशन, ये लगता है क्या क्वेश्चन मार्क, समथिंग लाइक दैट बना दिया, तो मुझे यहाँ पर भी कोई इतना फायदा, आई डोंट थिंक सो, आई एम नॉट गेटिंग एनी प्रॉपर रिजल्ट्स बेस्ड अपॉन इट, बस लगा दिया अपनी तरफ से। I did from my side, okay, these, let's consider these are the punctuation marks, but I don't think so कि यहाँ से भी कोई फायदा होने वाला है। Okay, so still there is a scarcity of a library which can understand Bengali। फिर अब क्या करें, ये भी नहीं हुआ, कुछ बंगाली के स्टॉप वर्ड्स आई नो, मतलब करे मैंने एक्सप्लोर, तो उसका लिस्ट बना लिया। आई मेड अ लिस्ट ऑफ सम बंगाली स्टॉप वर्ड्स, एंड देन ठीक है ये काम कर लिया, ये स्प्लिटिंग हो जाएगा, योर every sentence will be splitted and it will check whether these words are present in it or not। तो इनको वो रिमूव कर देगा, बाकी रेस्ट वो रिटर्न कर देगा। दैट्स व्हाट इट कैन डू। इतना क्लीनिंग में परफॉर्म कर सकता हूँ। आई कैन ऑल्सो रिमूव द नंबर डिजिट्स फ्रॉम द बंगाली, ये भी मैं कर सकता हूँ। दैट मीन्स आई कैन परफॉर्म द टोकनाइजेशन लाइक दिस, आई कैन स्प्लिट इट एंड आई कैन रिमूव द न्यूमेरिक्स फ्रॉम इट। इतना भी मैं लॉजिक लगा लूंगा। जो मैं नहीं कर पा रहा, तो वो है पंक्चुएशन मार्क्स का, मेरे को इशू आ रहा है। आई एम हैविंग दैट इशू ऑफ पंक्चुएशन। ओके, तो ये अपने मन से डाल दिए कुछ। एंड आई डू हैव लोअर केस में कन्वर्ट नहीं हुआ, एनीवे छोड़ो उसे। पंक्चुएशन रिमूव नहीं हुआ। लेमेटाइजेशन हाउ आई विल डू, आई डोंट नो। लेमेटाइजेशन कैसे होगा इसका? सो टिल स्टॉप वर्ड्स जो मुझे एरर नहीं आया, till where I haven't got the error, okay, I continued my code. I can add one more thing in it, I can remove the numbers, that's what I can do। उसमें भी मुझे कोई इशू नहीं रहेगा। ओके, फाइन। तो इतना मैंने करा। देन आई थिंक यार कि इसको आगे, आई ट्राइड फॉर लिमिटाइजेशन, दैट्स व्हाट आई डिड। व्हाई डोंट यू कन्वर्ट द बंगाली? नहीं नहीं पवन, वी कांट डू दैट, वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू डू converting a language into another language, no, that's what we will not do। Whatever be the language present with us now, we have to follow the same language, we are not, we can't convert, we have to explore, because conversion is language translation। So in intermediate you will be having one more thing, translation। So it's not mandatory now that English will translate it, the translation will be proper। I know that right now we are having the tools, we are having the technology which will convert 98 to 99% accurate translation, they do 98 to 99% accurate translation। But does it mandatory always to have a translator in between if any of the other language has been mentioned? At least we have to create a database of these languages also। Why NLTK is having corpus of 50 languages? Why shouldn't they convert every language into English and then give you the answer? So my language is Bengali now, and I require that any tool that can interpret this language. That's what I need। Okay, so what happened is I explored, I stopped here because I think I can't proceed ahead. Only one thing, number I can remove, but not more than that. Lemmatization is not possible here with NLTK. Okay, fine. So I stopped here. Then I looked for, is there any library which will help us? Okay, then I looked for Bengali. Okay, Bengali library, okay, for NLP। Okay, so there is one library called as BNLP. Let me show you. Okay, here is my entire screen now. There is one library called as BNLP, Bengali Natural Language Processing, which can perform these tasks: basic tokenizer, NLTK tokenizer, sentence piece tokenizer, embeddings also. All these are mentioned here. See, that's the reason. We are not converting it into English. We are available with the Bengali stuff also, how to process it. Okay, so all these things are present here. Okay, so the installation says that pip install BNLP toolkit. Just like now we are having NLTK toolkit, so they are having BNLP toolkit. Okay, I installed here. From my end, I installed in the Kaggle. Okay, and then when I performed this code, it thrown me an error. When I perform this code, it throw a error to me. There are some issues with the dependencies, which is it is not supporting my Kaggle. Okay, but when I installed this toolkit on Jupyter Notebook and when I run this code, it worked. In Jupyter Notebook, this code is working. If I run here, see, in Jupyter Notebook, from BNLP import basic tokenizer and it perform the tokenization. See, notebook it is working, but the only issue with the notebook is the data set. Everything looking to me was scribbled data set. So I haven't proceeded for it. In Jupyter, that's an issue. In Kaggle, I can see the data set, but I can't run this library. तो ये प्लेटफॉर्म का इशू आ गया मुझे. Okay, what we are having more. This is the entire documentation for Bengali available. Okay, still we can check basic tokenizer. Okay, here is the code to perform basic tokenization. From BNLP import NLTK tokenizer also. They are having NLTK tokenizer and it can perform the tokenization. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Here it's running successfully on Jupyter. Okay, sentence piece tokenization also. That means dividing the text on the basis of sentences. And sentences here is exclamation mark. So this is one of the sentence exclamation. This is another sentence exclamation. So it will divide it into two sentences. Okay, fine. So here it is. Sentence piece tokenizer. Okay, and it's assigning numerical values also to every token present in a sentence. That's also it is doing. So all the codes which are available here, I can run it on my Jupyter notebook and it will give the entire NLTK, like an entire NLTK. It's toolkit. BNLP is a toolkit. So just like NLTK, it is a toolkit. It can perform all the tasks. That's what I got from this GitHub repository. Okay, you can see all the codes are mentioned related to it. Okay, fine. So all these things are present there. Okay, letters, vowels, punctuation, words, how we can do. I tried, but it's not working. B and LP is not working on the Kaggle at my end. I don't know what happened related to dependencies. Okay, then I thought that okay, I will try again. I'll try again. What to do? Fine. Meanwhile, then I started with English. Then I thought that okay, let's start with the English. We'll proceed ahead for the Bengali once we clear everything. Okay. So I started with English. English, there is not at all issue. You have already seen in the sentiment analysis that how what to do there. So I took my all the libraries again. I took the English data. So it is having title, text, and the label. Whereas these are just unnecessary columns which are coming. Okay, fine. And then I took only, okay, I printed head and the tail. I took only these title, text, and the label. I just took these only. Okay, and shape 10,000 columns, these three. When I printed label unique, I was expecting 0 and 1. But when I printed label unique, I got this. Because labels are unique, it should be 0 and 1. But it gave me 1, 0, null value, fell 5.6% Monday, and all these things. And I think these are wrong entries. These are wrong entries which are present in your label. Then I thought that, okay, wait. I converted label into string and I replaced with all this text with null values. All this text with null values, NaN. And then converted label into numeric. Now I'm getting 10 NaN. And then I removed those. Okay, total I am having 4 NaN. Then I dropped the rows which are having null values. So now I am clear with the label 1 and 0. That's what I did. So 4 rows were dropped, rest nothing. Then again I made the count plot for it. 4998 5000. Okay, balanced data. This is balanced data, nothing to worry about. I added title and the text to make a text, entire text in itself. That's what I did. I created data frame with text and the label only. That's what I did with the Bengali also, and here also doing the same thing. All right, fine. And then I converted label into integer. So 1010 something like that. And this is my text. Okay, fine. I created copy and I performed the entire cleaning, which I usually do. So this is the entire cleaning, lowercase conversion, stripping, then punctuation marks. So English you don't have to take any stress. English you can work upon. The issue is with other languages. What to do with that? So, for example, I need to create a chatbot in Bengali language. Then what I will do? The question asked us are convert it into English. For example, the client will say that you have to make a chatbot in Bengali. Then what you will do? The client will not expect that okay, English you're saying converting into English, then converting into Bengali. This translation we don't want. We want everything in Bengali. Then so for that we should have a model who's trained over Bengali corpus. We should have the libraries who know about the Bengali, how to process the Bengali. So we are having this library, BNLP, for that. Okay. But there is some dependency which is creating an issue on the Kaggle. We'll sort it. Okay, so remove the punctuation, everything I did here. Then stop words also I removed. Okay, we don't have any stop words here. I removed it. I perform word net lematizer, POS verb, part of speech as a verb. That's what I did. But I'm a bit unclear about the method we are using to classify the fake and the real news. Okay, what method you think is not been the text classification is all same. You have to clean the data. You have to train a classifier model. That's what the approach is. Do you have any other approach available to you as per your knowledge? Yes, Mr. Pavan. Okay, so the classification can be done in this way. Okay, you have to use the class first clean and then use the classifier model. Okay, it's up to you whether you don't want to remove the stop words you want to keep, you can. Okay, but only the thing is it will increase the vocab size. More vectors will be created for them. So vocabulary will be increased. Ultimately, the vocabulary will increase and sequence will increase. For example, you are using more sequences will be created. If you are using LSTM by LSTM for the classification, more sequence will be created. So just to avoid the complexity, we are removing the stop word. We are performing the limitization. And here I did perform the limitization. Okay, still I haven't seen too much progress. Establishment is still establishment. With this also, POS verb, I'm not getting any change. It's still the same. Maybe I have to use Porter stemmer. Okay, so stem will get the root word, which may don't have the meaning. Okay, maybe. All right. But anyway, I did perform the word net lematizer. Okay, and then I removed the text in the square brackets, remove the words containing the numbers, all this thing I cleaned from my side. All the numerics, digits, widgets I removed. That's what I've already taught you in the previous emoji pattern and everything. That's the same part of code which I do apply. Okay, so I anyhow I clean my data, whatever I am available with. I clean my data, URL and everything. I cleaned it. Okay, and then I prepared the word cloud for the text. Okay, this is the word cloud for the text. Okay, and then I created a word cloud for misinformation. That means equal to one. Label equal to one is misinformation. So I separately created the word cloud for misinformation. You can see. Okay, and then I created a word cloud for non misinformation. That is zero. That's what you can see. So till here I did perform the code. Rest also I could have done, but that's not very much hard to do. Okay, you are already available with how to perform the classification for English. The only challenge here is this Bangla, this language. And it's also been easy, not a tough job. The only thing is if your platform runs, just accepts this toolkit, things are easy. Okay, fine. So I request you to try this BNLP toolkit. Okay, date link. I guess you will be getting this link in Bengali and English news data. Okay, you will get this thing on the Kaggle. Okay, and if possible, try this BNLP. What success you are getting? You can try on Collab if it is possible. Jupyter Notebook, I tried at my end, it is working, but language is not proper. Okay, so you can try, and then you can please let me know. Okay. Well. Okay, fine.